I am Kyle Beers. It is November 5th, 2024. I am going to be talking about the integumentary system, and these are my notes. As humans, we have a really cool organism called the integumentary system. It involves our skin, both the epidermis and the dermis, which we will get into those layers in just a minute, as well as the hypodermis, or the connective tissue between our skin and the deeper tissues like muscle. Our epidermis has 5 layers. That's our upper layer of skin. When we get a sunburn and our skin peels, that's what we're dealing with. The 5 layers of the epidermis are they're called stratums. That's what the layers are called in the epidermis. There is the stratum basal, the stratum spinosa, because it looks like a pincushion, and spine goes with needles. There's the stratum granulosum, which is kind of a barrier between the basal cells of the basal layer and their keratinization of cells. Then there is the stratum lucidum, which is a clear or see-through layer that's only found in thick skin, which you can find in the palm of your hands, soles of your feet. We'll get into that maybe. And then the toppest layer, the layer that we peel off if we burn and have a peeling skin, is the stratum corneum. Below that epithelial layer is, or not the epithelial layer, the epidermis, there's the dermis. Dermis is where we have most of the connective tissue of the skin. There are 2 layers, the papillary layer, which interacts with the basal layer through dermal ridging. That's actually how we have our fingerprints. And I learned that dermal ridging is all over our skin. So if you look really close at your forearm or other parts of your body, you can see that ridging too. That's where the epidermis and the dermis connect and how they connect together. Also, structures like the sebaceous gland and the sweat glands, the hair follicle, all of those help hold the dermis and epidermis together. So that's the upper part of the dermis is the papillary layer. And with the papillae and the dermal ridging, that's where they connect. The lower layer or reticular layer of the dermis is separated from a capillary vein, or the capillary area vein, where small veins connect. And then below that, there is the subcutaneous vein complex, artery veins, and our nerves come up into there. Also in the dermis, there is making sure I'm on time. In the dermis, there's also Merkel cells, which is the special nerve endings, so that we can feel all of the things that we can feel. The hair follicles, so the base of the hair matrix, the hair root, and the hair stem, all is in the dermis, going up out of the epidermis. I want to get into radiology technology or technician, hopefully as a ultrasound tech. Ultrasounds look through the dermal layers into the insides of our bodies. There's not a lot of pictures or cells that we're looking at necessarily, but cancer is a concern with radiation. And in the name of skin cancers, it shows where that comes from. So the squamous cell, or the top layers are squamous cells, they're all platelets. That disfigures, that's a type of skin cancer. Or the basal skin cancer starts in the basal stratum. Or melanoma starts in the melanocytes in that epidermis layer. Melanin is what gives us the color as well as keratin. Keratin. Keratin is what processes the keratin and the melanocytes to make it colored skin.